Hello, hello, hello.
Oh wait, hold on.
Okay.
That's why I can't because okay, never mind.
I got my headphones on, but it's a bit there's a bit of background noise.
I don't know because my speakers was also it's okay. I should be okay.
Is this better? I'm just trying to get rid of the background.
Yeah. You're fine. You're fine. I don't hear anything in the background.
You okay? How's it going?
Hey Zen, how you doing? All good here.
Good. Happy New Year.
Yeah, same to you. Ready.
Is there much annoying background noise coming from my end?
No.
No? Okay.
Not that I can hear. No.
Yeah.
All right, great. All right, let's get started.
Yeah, not too many questions today.
Alrighty, well, welcome everybody to the first AMA of 2026. Excited to be here, excited to see the team again, excited to see all of you in the chat with us. So, we're going to just jump right in, and the first question is for Kildare, and it's from Zuzu D3S. Basically, when will the new star map with Fleet Wars be released? When is the big Fleet Wars coming?
So, well, it was actually supposed to come out last week, but due to because testing was still ongoing and we had some issues, so we were just fixing them. So currently it's pending review. So we are looking to ideally roll out sometime this week. So most earliest even tomorrow. So very exciting.
That is very exciting. That is some exciting news. I've been keeping an eye on the testing. It looks absolutely amazing. I think it's going to be some great content for the game and for the players. Next question, again, Kildare, this is for you, and this is along some of the other things that are going on all around us all the time. Players are constantly expecting the next level. When is level 14 coming?
It's probably actually this is actually a better question for Zin. But I think
it's for Thomas. It's for Thomas. Defer to Thomas.
Well, actually, it's sometime this year. I guess probably next quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
We're targeting Q2. We just need to make sure that it's a significant update. We can't just say, oh look, here's a few more grids. We want to add as much content as possible. Not just new levels to rooms, perhaps new rooms. We'll see what we can do there as well. And of course, a whole sweeping wave of balance changes just to keep things up to date as we close in on 1.0.
Also, before we
definitely need new rooms, 100%.
I do have some plans. Just with that, a lot of work needed still. It's not back.
You're adding a romance system, aren't you?
Sorry. Before we continue, guys, just letting everyone know, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the Q&A in the chat. Because we don't have too many questions today, so feel free to ask and we will get to them.
Awesome. Amazing. Right. So next up, it's basically just a couple more for the Savvy team in general. Is from Anna. What are each of the Savvy team's favorite genre of music?
So hard.
Or just
such a hard one.
Those here.
I guess only Kildare, Thomas, and myself can rep the whole team. I'm sure everyone's got different taste. I know Hai likes heavy metal.
She was a bit of a rap god, aren't you?
Zin's definitely into rap.
I listen to everything.
I listen to everything, to be honest with you. Although I will admit, to some shame, I've been listening to country music.
I disagree there, Tom. You have very specific tastes. You don't like a lot of things that I share. So myself, well, the question depends on whether you're talking about music to listen to or music to sing, because they are very different. But in terms of what I like to listen, I mainly like soundtracks from games, movies, yeah, the kind of thing. I know I'm a true gamer, so everything game related. That's joking.
That's good too, isn't it?
Sorry, what?
Things like the Space Marines soundtrack, they're so good for working and keeping pace. So, yeah, good call.
So Kildare's a bit of a microphone karaoke buff.
Yeah. How about you, Kane? What do you listen to, buddy? I'm guessing K-pop.
Hey, there's some good K-pop out there. I have a very, very broad taste in music. I do like a lot of my hardcore punk, also metal, but I also like a little bit of folk music. I've been listening to a lot of what they call Southern Gothic of late.
Southern Gothic.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's some really good stuff out there. It's like if you just like go around and listen to things, it's like I mainly like things that there's a catchy tune, there's a good beat to it, things like that. And then if there's some deep, interesting lyrics, yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm into. It's kind of like why I got into Pixel Starships, because it's deep, interesting, and involved. With the AI and everything, it's shiny on the outside, but there's a lot going on underneath the surface. Next up, and again from Anna, this is more aimed towards the team here with us, is your personal favorite ship rap?
I think for me personally, well, I haven't really been checking out too many of the other raps, but the ones that I really like was like the Galaxy one, if I remember correctly, the one with the Galaxy animations. Yeah, I like that one.
That was a nice one.
Yeah.
Same. My favorite internally, I was like, defer this one to Thomas, because Thomas is organizing all the raps, and with is Tong's been
doing a lot of the animations. Yeah. Probably the 10-year anniversary rap, just because I really like how that all came together. If not, I'd say the Lunar New Year rap we did a while ago for the Year of the Ox is quite cool as well.
Yeah, Year of the Ox is my favorite. It was really, really good. And then lastly, from Anna, this is actually quite an interesting question. It kind of stood out to me. If you could add one feature to Pixel Starships with a wave of a magic wand, zero coding, zero testing needed, no debugging effort needed, what would it be?
Ooh, very difficult question. If I haven't been working on Fleet Wars, it would have been Fleet Wars. But other than that, I guess.
While you're thinking, if I can jump in, probably planet colonization and construction. But that's just saying for stuff that we haven't got plans for. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming that we have got planned. So excluding all of that stuff, I'd probably go to some kind of colonization.
I agree, but that's kind of also in the Fleet Wars at one phase.
Yeah, infrastructure on systems is really exciting.
Yeah, we're giving away a lot of what's coming up in Fleet Wars. But I think apart from Fleet Wars, something we've always wanted to do was multi-ship battles and the live multi-ship battles.
Oh yeah, definitely, yes.
Which is a lot of effort, and there are work done to support that in PSS1 or PSS2. It's just it's a big task.
I think probably next in that list would be the ground battles overhaul. Like we had this whole big plan to make ground battles like sort of like a how do I put it like a what is that game shit? The name's escaping me. The dungeon one.
Darkest Dungeon.
Darkest Dungeon, or like the Spire game. Oh, crap.
Slay the Spire.
Name's escaping me. Yeah, Slay the Spire. Those kind of like a dungeon crawling ish. Roguelike games, so like basically like have a sequence of battles and make it more interesting beyond what it is currently.
Well, that's great because PSS2 ground battles is coming soon.
But for PSS1 it's like really complicated to implement, I guess. So it's a lot of things to add on to that. So I wish we could just magic wand it like Anna says, but
Just as a heads up, Kane, I'm just adding question marks, 20 questions that people have asked in the chat, just so you can catch them easy.
Yeah, no problem. So just following on, because I'm just going to jump a couple of questions here because Zin just raised something with regards to ground battles for PSS2. Gorgot asked when.
This is a good question for Sherry that's hiding in the audience there. I think from memory we're targeting it by end of Q1, so by end of March. It's a pretty in-depth kind of feature update. So we'll see how we go. Yeah, but within the next 2 months is the schedule. So
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
That sounds very optimistic.
yeah. Yes.
I mean, it's quite a big thing, you know, to like try and say, hey, we're gonna have it done by then, because I know how much work is going on in the background to get everything currently working, you know, well and everything like that. So, you know, when you guys give us, and I always look at whenever everyone says, hey, it's going to be ready by this date, it's kind of like I always take it with a pinch of salt, because you have a look at what's, you know, GTA 6 at the moment. You know, it's like they've pushed it to end of the year now, so at the end of 2026, where it was supposed to release last year. So, you know, it's like I always look at, you know, when you have big studios having to push back releases like that, when you all come out with the content that you do, you know, we're very, very lucky, to be honest, with Pixel Starships and the team. So thank you very much from a player for that. This one's for Tom. Kafka asks, are there any planned updates for the Dove Store? Are there any near future collaborations planned that you can share with us?
Definitely. So for part one of that question, we made some changes recently just to the general bank store, just to see how people would respond to some changes there and whether it would be heavily resisted, but it looks like it's been quite popular. There are a lot of changes that we've wanted to do to the Dove store for a long time. It's kind of confusing. It's a bit of a jumbled selection, but that's kind of by design. So we will look. We've already got a few plans in the works. Long story short, yes, we will be changing the Dove store just to make it a bit more clear for players and kind of make it so players can kind of plan out if they do want to support the game and you know, maybe spend their points that they've saved up over time from tournament and things like that on some of the unique prizes from the Dove store. It's also a little bit hidden away, so we'll probably review the UI and see what we can do to make sure that it's easier to open and to be seen by not just, you know, existing players but new players as well. Second part of that question, yes. I can't really go into too much detail about the future collaborations. We've been really lucky to have some really, really good collaborations in the past. Some of those have been long-standing beloved IPs, and some have been more fun, kind of crazy, unexpected stuff that still, you know, really fit well within the universe and kind of get people excited. What I can say is there's been a lot of guesses for the next upcoming collaboration. Only one of those guesses has been correct. Of course, I haven't told that person that they were correct, but yeah, there's been a lot of pretty wild conjecture out there. It is a beloved IP. It just means that that, you know, comes with a lot of really restrictive NDAs, so we can't really announce anything about it just yet. But when we do, I can promise you that it's something that a lot of people will be very happy to see. It's something that fits well in the game, and it's something that I would definitely call a beloved, long-standing IP.
Righty. Next one's for Zin. David asks, will the weekly special in the PSS1 shop be brought to PSS2?
Yeah, we have a few live opsy kind of features coming into PSS2. You know, initially we've been looking at player feedback. I think the amount of freebies in PSS2 is a bit lacking, so we're going to focus on those first. We're going to have a section in the store. We're working on other things like the dropship and the merchant ship, but those are a little bit further into distance. I think our goal is to have 1 or 2 daily reward and daily shop type of things coming in every quarter. So probably like by the end of the year, we'll have most of the PSS1 style daily shops in PSS2. But there's a lot to do, guys. you know, like before we can get like Battle Pass, for example, into PSS2, we've got to fix all of the other stuff first. Yeah. And like what you were saying about GTA 6, I think we take a different approach. You know, we're basically putting out what we've got ready to play, getting the feedback, and then iteratively improving it and putting the next set of features up. We're not like doing a whole feature release, which comes its own, you know, ups and downs.
I mean, I look at probably one of the most successful, well, you know, big games over the last year and a bit. It was Baldur's Gate 6. And I remember playing the initial pre-release or early access of Baldur's Gate 6 during COVID. You know, the first part, and it was a buggy mess. And once they actually released the full game, it pretty much just blew the socks of most AAA studios, because they released a full game full of content to the public, but it had been play tested constantly over a period of 5 years, you know, before they actually got it to release. So I think this is something, I think, just from a player's perspective, when we see things in the, you know, the Play Store or wherever, it's kind of like, hey, this has to be a fully functional AAA type game. And AAA studios mess up all the time. I mean, you know, Activision with Call of Duty and things like that. It's like there's so many issues with AAA studios nowadays that, like I say, we are very fortunate. We have this interaction with you. The players can talk to Kildare on a daily basis, etc. So again, thank you so much for being part of the Discord community with us, being part of the community with us, and, you know, listening to us on occasion. And having to ignore us when we are being stupid and selfish and things like that. But thank you so much.
No, there's no selfish and stupid. It's a privilege for us having these feedback from the player base. I think that's what drives us. I think great feedback from Kane. But what we probably should have done, like with PSS2, is kept it more a closed release rather than open release. I think, you know, we're happy to run early access for 5 years, and it's annoying having you know, players that's not really in the Discord community, but like basing a review of the current state of the game. That does make it hard, you know, from like a marketing angle.
Again, having been part of Pixel Starships very early on, you know, I started playing very, very early on. You know, not many players currently understand what PSS1 was like initially. You know, it's like we had teething problems with PSS1, and it's, you know, it's been a constant thing with the team with Kildare, you know, squashing bugs and things like that on a daily and weekly basis. So again, you know, it's like seeing more from the back end now. You know, I really appreciate how much you guys have done over the year, even though as a player previously I have had frustrations and things like that. Kildare used to know some of the conversations we had in content review and things like that, but you know, things like that. So I have a question here for Tom. Is more Mariners content when?
Yeah, that's coming up this year. We'll see which Mariner we're going to get added, and we might even see a main villain get added as well, but I can't say too much.
I like how you guys pronounce it as Mariner. I also kept thinking this is Marina or something.
Marina. Marina is where you moor your boat.
I don't know.
All right, so just one for the team. I know Sherry's in the chat with us, but when are we going to get Sherry on the AMA? This is asked by Anna.
Yeah, we'll
yeah, Sherry.
How do I get her on? Boom, she's on.
I think she ran away.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna get back to our list here, and it's from the worst. And this was something I know the team was away on holiday and everything like that. But the worst asked, "Where's the 10th anniversary promo code?"
That's a fair question. So originally we just wanted it to be the achievement when logging in, so a bit of a fun surprise rather than you need to perform this task to receive a bonus. However, before the celebration, let's say, is finished, I will definitely be adding something. That's a good recommendation. Thank you, Duest.
We do have a mailing list run going out shortly. Maybe we'll put it in that. Because technically, 10th year, we've got another 340 days or so left. Right? Like,
Well, there we go. It's like I think that's
getting
the
in there.
kind of thing is because like when we're running some giveaways on the Discord, everyone's like, oh, but it's like when are we doing this? I said, well, we can do this whenever. It's just kind of like when it takes us. It is the 10th year. It's not like something like when I celebrate my birthday. It's like it's not a birthday. It's a birth week. It's like that's the big thing. It's like we're taking a whole week off for that. All right.
This is a good point, but I will say that the gacha pods, the crew pods, they complete in early February, on the 10th of February. So if we can't get it in within that time, just be aware that those will be disappearing from the store as well.
Awesome, thank you. So I have a question here in the chat from Mr. Sushi. Is purchasable backgrounds for PSS1? They really liked a couple of the last event backgrounds, and they'd love to be able to keep them. Is that something you'd consider?
We've been looking at doing backgrounds based on your location. It's strange, it seems like a simple thing, but that would be a bit of a technical hurdle. So it's been more about prioritizing getting new content into the game before we approach that task. But yes, that is something that we hope to do in the near future. It's just, it will take, we don't want to just say, okay, now we're using these 4 backgrounds. We do want to make it feel more like a livable galaxy, a livable universe. So that will take a little bit of time. So for the moment, just while we work on other stuff that we feel is a higher priority, that players will enjoy more, we'll definitely move towards that. So far as the purchasable background, I'm not sure if that's something that we've considered. I don't know if it would be worth the development time, and I'd much rather the players got something more effectual for their gameplay. But I'll discuss that with enjoy more, and the guys can see what we come up with.
Awesome, thank you. So I have a question here from Missile Mike. He's been one of our long-standing players within the PSS2 community, and he's basically asking for a rough date on when tournaments will be added. They're stating that they need to know the deadline to get their fleet ready. And this is, again, the interesting thing with regards to PSS1 and now into PSS2 is how communities start to build up around the fleets. And this is something that we've always worked really hard on, particularly within the main Discord, is to get players into fleets and get them to their community Discords, where the main Discord is a hub for them, for everybody, for the information, for interaction with the dev team. But those fleets are where the community really starts to come together. Having been part of a couple of large fleet families in my time, that is always something. So can you share any information on that with us then?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know Missile Mike's been putting a lot of recommendations. We're actioning a lot of the suggestions. I think there's potentially another missile room coming this week. I don't know. But tournament's been high on our priority list for a while. Our initial goal was to get that launched like January, like this month. We're just looking at the performance of the game and where issues are, and I think there's a couple of things we have to do first in the core gameplay before we enable tournaments. So that's going to push it out a little bit, but it's certainly something that's going to happen within the year. Q2, I hope. So before we get tournaments out, we've got ground battles. I think that was mentioned earlier. We've got a bit of a graphic overhaul with all of the ships, and just the general onboarding and game balance. So I think those 3 things are higher prio. We'll get, and then a bunch of other smaller things, but Those three big things we'll need to fix before tournaments gets the main attention of the team.
So thank you so much. Tom, this one's for you because they were actually asking on the Discord earlier today. Anna asked, what is this new Infiltrators collection and why does it sound so busted for Telespam?
All right, okay. So that's very early development. I wouldn't worry about functionally. It'll likely remain the same to what people have kind of data mined, but balance-wise, definitely going to be taking a strong look at that. So please don't draw any conclusions just yet, other than that there will be a new collection coming to the game very soon.
Awesome, thank you. I think people need to be very careful with data mined information because, again, I follow quite a few games. I've been playing a lot of Arc Raiders recently, and there's a lot of stuff being data mined off of there. But whether that eventually hits live is, of course, never 100% guaranteed. Next up, this one's for Kildare. Is crew seniority instanced between layout saves?
Currently, no. But I think at some point, because there's a couple of things we need to also change around with the layout saving. I know there's a couple of requests from players on how certain things should work. But yeah, at some point we will, but not at the moment.
Okay. Quick question here in the chat for PSS2. Is any word on when an expansion of what can be crafted is due? Example, from being able to craft sandbags and the like.
Are they asking about multiple ingredient parts, or I'm sorry, not too clear about.
Oh, sorry. This is for Pixel Starships 2. This is for Zen.
The crafting is a little bit limited. So just thanks for putting pressure on that one. We'll get it sorted. That's probably just I've been a bit slow on editing those. So yeah, thanks for the feedback. Well noted. As early as
no worries. Thank you.
As early as the next update, I think. Well, I mean, we got a small, not really small patch, but we got our first client patch of the year scheduled for release. Was supposed to be today. I think it's gonna get pushed till tomorrow. That's got a bunch of changes. Nothing with the crafting yet in this update. I think we'll try and schedule the crafting with the second patch before the end of the month. So sometime next week and a half.
Awesome, thank you. A question here from Repo Man in the chat, and again, this is for Kildare. With Fleet Wars, is there any plan to add more systems to the galaxy map? Or alternatively, will systems be changing hands often enough that smaller fleets can take a bite out of the bigger ones so that they don't get steamrolled?
Yeah, so yes, you definitely taken that into account. So as for the first part of the question, yeah, we will eventually. It's more of like we want to see how things go first with the first release of Fleet Wars and everything. Yeah, I believe we had permission to expand the galaxy as necessary. But yeah, we will just have to see how that goes. As for the second part of the question, yeah, it's basically one of the main concerns during testing. At the moment, yeah, we've basically the system is designed to sort of like inhibit the bigger fleets from expanding too much. It's not that they can't. Although I should mention for the first release, I will set a hard limit, but I will very likely lift that hard limit depending on how things go. But essentially, the system will sort of like soft limit people from expanding too much because there's only a limited number of players in each fleet, and the number of players that you get, the more systems that you control, it means the number of fleets attacking you will also increase, and that means you will be hard pressed to defend all of them at the same time. Yeah, so that is already sort of like a soft block. I know it's like there's people's comments that the top fleets are very strong, that they can probably defend a lot of systems. But again, that's probably a bit of assumption. So we will monitor things as they release, and we'll see how it goes.
Awesome. So it's a sort of diminishing returns. The more you control, the more you tax on your your amount of captains you have, etc., etc.
Yeah, not just that itself, but more of like also like upkeep wise, you have to spend a lot to maintain all those star systems. So not the best to hold too many at the same time.
I'm always as an as an EVE Online player, when it comes to controlling territory and things like that, there's always, where there's a will, there's a way, and it's with most games, where there's a mechanic, players will find a way to break it, much like, that's how Telespam got started. Someone was able to figure out how to rush the teleport multiple times in a row to get a whole bunch of crew over in a few ticks. So it'll be interesting to see how it develops.
Yeah.
So I have a question here, and this is for Tom. When will the current campaign of War Games end? And a second part of that, and will the War Game ships change or stay the same?
That's a good question, actually. Thanks for asking that. So, long story short, we've got to give a short amount of time for players, not who've just played every day, but a slight overlay, not too large, because we do need to keep these kind of achievements limited to people who've really dedicated the time, just to allow people to collect all of the ribbons. Once we've done that, probably in a few months, to be honest with you, we'll start rolling out some of the new Fleet Wars encounters. This is more going to be based on, yes, some of the ships will repeat, yes, there will be new ships, but prominently there will be new goal types. So at the moment there's things like destroy crafts, do as much damage as you can. We'll be seeing more stuff like that, a bit more flavor there, with more to announce soon.
Alrighty, I have a question here from the chat from Tobias. When will we get crew recycling in PSS2? This is for Zin.
Not for any time too soon yet. I think there's gonna be still a backlog of core features we're doing. So I think at this stage, probably mid-year the earliest. Yeah. I know it's a much wanted feature and also prestige, but we've got to get the ship to level 12. We've got to get tournaments out there. We've got ground battle. So yeah, the pipeline is full.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like I say, there's a lot of stuff, and it's the same with PSS1. There's a lot of stuff still. There's so much scope, and again, this is like just having a look at it from a fan of games and things like that. Having seen PSS1 grow the way it has been absolutely phenomenal. Like I say, I've been training for over 8 years now. So yeah, just watching that has been incredible. A quick one here from Anna in the chat is, who in the office is most likely to steal fruit from the break room fridge?
There's fruit?
Food, just food.
Food, okay. I was like, fruit are so healthy. We don't have any healthy.
I don't think anyone's ever stolen food from the fridge. Fortunately, not that I keep any food in the fridge because I always eat out anyway.
We only have healthy snacks like ice cream and chocolate.
Alrighty, so here's one for Kildare. Is there any consideration of a dismiss all button for the inbox? As most quality of life features are, they would expect them to be pretty low on the priority list, which is fine. But has there been any consideration for something like that?
So it's, we would like to add that, but the problem is it's a little bit more complicated than people think to do that for the inbox. Because there's a lot of things to consider, like how does that, because the inbox is not just messages, it's also it's sort of like rewards and stuff like that, and you can only collect a bunch of them, collect them if you have space, for example, so it means when this collect all, you have to take into account all of that, and also I believe it's also a bit taxing on the server end. I can't say for certain because I'm not the server dev. That's more of a high question, honestly. So short answer is yes, we'd like to do that if we can, and probably in the quality of life update. But again, it depends on what's actually possible on the server end, which I can't definitively answer at this time. Yeah, hope that answers the question.
Awesome, thank you so much. So, basically, Black Mensa was actually asking about the question that I'm about to ask. Is will the warp hangar be included in the Fleet War update, or is it a standalone update? If standalone, when can it be expected?
So originally, I did plan to roll this out together with the Fleet Wars update, but unfortunately, because of the pipeline, we haven't been able to get the assets out in time. So this would likely be in a future update alongside probably some other update. So it won't be a standalone update. It will probably maybe come with HAL 14, very likely actually. So yeah, I think Thomas probably has a better answer to the question since he's the one who manages the pipeline essentially. Yeah.
Probably alongside 14 Q2.
Yeah.
We'll do our best though. Kildare does his absolute best, making sure that when we roll out these balance updates, they're properly tested, and we don't like to change too much. But you know, we are in a pre 1.0 environment. We do need to make these changes. So I will say apologies from us if it does cause any upset to players who are dead set on stats never changing or new rooms never coming. But it is a reality that we have to kind of work around for the moment. And we'll definitely make sure it's for the good of the game.
Awesome. We have a question from Altazar Requiem in the chat here. Is Zen, what is your skincare routine?
Oh, sun cream. That's it.
Sunscreen, man.
That's it. Sunscreen.
I don't believe him. Do you guys believe him? I don't believe him. I think it's stem cells, sacrifice of animals, perhaps children.
Cloning, you know,
Yeah, something going on there.
Well, I mean,
Alright, so
sunscreen very important because in Melbourne the sun is like it's insane. Yeah, yeah.
I spent 2 years down in Melbourne, down in down by the docks down there. So yeah, I know, particularly in the summer, that sun gets brutal.
Yeah.
People don't really appreciate that southern hemisphere sun. And the damage it can do. So, having had a look through the chat, that is pretty much all the questions we have. And it's short and sweet tonight. I want to thank everyone for joining us. I want to thank Zen, Kildare, and Tom for joining us here in the chat. Is there anything else before we close up? I don't want to miss anything out. Tom, did you see anything else out there?
No, I think that's it. Sorry if we missed anyone, but I do believe we got everyone in. We even did Zin's skincare routine, which was a very special content extra question. I do want to say thank you, Kratos, for doing yet again an amazing job. Sorry, Kane, for doing an amazing job.
Any time, boy. No, it's an absolute pleasure to host these. I really do enjoy them. It really gives us more of an insight with the team, which is really, really good. So thank you so much for doing these for us. And with that, everybody, you all have a great evening.
Now back to the update release. Haha.
Remember, Fleet Wars is coming. Be prepared. Do your absolute best to be prepared, because this is going to take a lot of collaboration with the rest of the members of your fleet to make sure that you get the most out of it. It's going to be an exciting week ahead.
It's a huge update,
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Kildare's little brainchild as well. So if you don't like it, you know who to complain to.
Yes. Kelly Thomas, yes. Alright, see you guys.
Bye.
See ya.